The Outer Frontier. Book 3. A Hope to a Peace. Chapter 5. Where the Maps End. The UGS Horizon crossed the edge of known space without ceremony. There was no invisible barrier, no warning beacon, no dramatic flash of light. One moment, the ship sailed through territory mapped by thousands of generations. The next, every chart aboard became little more than an educated guess. The navigation display changed almost imperceptibly. Political borders disappeared. Trade routes vanished. Rescue protocols were automatically disabled. The ship's artificial intelligence spoke in its calm, emotionless voice. Confirmed. A brief pause followed. All projected navigation beyond this point is based on incomplete historical data. Another pause. Probability of chart accuracy, 42%. Marcus Donnelly looked toward the ceiling. 42. The AI answered immediately. Correct. I've repaired coffee machines with better odds. Soft laughter spread across the bridge. Amelia smiled. Let's hope the coffee machines weren't responsible for saving the galaxy. The first days beyond the frontier were strangely peaceful. Too peaceful. No communication traffic. No civilian broadcasts. No navigation beacons. No automated probes. Even the stars seemed different. Not because they had changed. Because, for the first time in centuries, no one had given them names. Each morning, the scientific teams gathered around the ancient map, recovered from Archivum Primaris. The holographic projection floated above the conference table. It looked less like a navigational chart, and more like a trail of fading memories. Many stars no longer existed. Others had drifted from their original positions. Entire constellations had subtly changed over 40,000 years. Finding the ancient route required equal parts astronomy and archaeology. Late on the 9th day, Lyra suddenly looked up from her console. I'm detecting artificial gravitational harmonics. Kale stopped writing. How old? I don't know. Marcus leaned over her shoulder. Can you estimate? She studied the data for several seconds. The structures have been inactive for at least. She frowned. 39,000 years. No one spoke. Hours later, the horizon arrived. The planet appeared almost beautiful. Blue oceans, dense forests, snow-covered mountain ranges. Clouds drifted peacefully across the atmosphere. Nothing suggested that one of the greatest civilizations in galactic history had once lived there. Until the clouds parted, entire cities emerged beneath them. Gigantic, perfectly symmetrical, stretching across entire continents. Roads, bridges, towers, gardens, everything remained exactly where its builders had left it. Nothing had been destroyed. Nothing had collapsed. Nothing had burned. It was as though an entire civilization had simply walked away. The landing party moved carefully through silent streets. Every footstep echoed between buildings older than most stars charted by the Galactic Union. There were no skeletons, no abandoned vehicles, no signs of panic. Homes remained furnished. Libraries remained organized. Workshops still contained unfinished projects. A child's toy rested exactly where someone had left it. Marcus quietly picked it up. What happened here? No one answered, because no explanation made sense. Lyra wandered slowly through what appeared to have been a public archive. Most information storage devices had long since failed. Stone, however, remembered. The walls were covered with relief carvings. Not celebrations, not kings, not victories. Instead, maps, migration routes, one direction, always outward, toward the frontier. Kale carefully translated the nearest inscription. His voice grew quieter with every sentence. The first departure, another panel. The second departure, another. The third departure. None spoke of expansion. Every migration had a single purpose. Retreat. Lyra interrupted the silence. "I've found something." The team hurried toward the central structure. Buried beneath layers of crystal and stone stood a device unlike anything they had seen before. Not a weapon, not a computer, not exactly. It resembled an enormous sphere suspended within concentric metallic rings. Every ring pointed toward deep space, toward the same direction shown on the ancient map. Lyra examined the surrounding inscriptions. They weren't marking where they came from. Kale looked at her. They were marking. She slowly nodded. Where they kept moving. A warning tone suddenly echoed inside every helmet. The ship's AI. Priority 1 communication from Horizon. Amelia answered immediately. Carter. The reply came from the bridge. It was the navigator. His voice sounded uncertain. Commander, we're detecting intermittent sensor returns. Source, we don't know. Marcus frowned. Equipment malfunction. Number. A pause. It appears. The officer hesitated. Something is observing us. Back aboard the Horizon, every long-range sensor had been redirected. The display remained empty. Then, for less than a second, a contact appeared. Extremely distant. Large. Impossible to classify. It vanished. The tactical officer enlarged the recording. Nothing. Only background radiation. Marcus scratched his head. So, either our sensors are hallucinating, or something out there knows how to disappear. Over the next 6 hours, it happened again, always at the extreme limit of detection. A faint gravitational distortion, a brief energy signature, a reflection where nothing should exist. Never close enough to identify, never present long enough to track. Always watching. No one aboard the Horizon slept particularly well that night. Not because they had found the abandoned world. Not because of the ancient cities. Not because of the mysterious migration. Those discoveries could wait. What truly unsettled the crew was the growing certainty that somewhere beyond the darkness, someone else had already found them.